Hi, this is Savannah,
And this is Brian from the Dorky Diva Show,
and you're listening to Star Wars.
the best place for below average Star Wars.
In a world where people need 80s and 90s movie reviews, two regular Geordies combine forces to bring you the Brother to Brother 80s and 90s movie review podcast. Check them out on Twitter, YouTube, and all decent podcast vendors.
Star Wars, best place for below average Star Wars.
Hello there, and welcome to the Star Wars Show, the best place for below average Star Wars. I am the Geordie Jedi Pete, and I am joined by Canon Junkie XL Iain. Iain, how are you doing?
Good mate. It's always good to come on and talk Star Wars with you, mate, and it's good to talk Star Wars with you talk about Star Wars news that we're going to talk about today.
Definitely, there's been a couple of good things drop over the past week or so, and we'll just dive straight in. Obviously, there's been that new Shadows of the Sith book, which is sort of going to be a tie-in from the Last Jedi / original trilogy into the Rise of Skywalker and sort of the hunt for Exegol and Orchy of Bestoon and all of that, and Lando and Luke Skywalker on the mission to sort of find Exegol. There's been an excerpt from that novel released. I'll let you take it away, Iain, because I know you've sort of dived into it and you're very excited about it. Sort of, how good was the excerpt, and what are you expecting from this novel when it comes out?
Oh, the excerpt was great. Like, normally I don't read the excerpts they release because for some reason, whenever I'm reading the book when it comes out, it kind of takes me out the book a bit because I've already read it. But this is my most anticipated book this year. I love anything to do with the Sith and all that type of thing. So the excerpt was really cool. If you want me to go into like what happens in it, I can do.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So basically, it opens up with Luke on the Seeing Stone that we see in the Mandalorian on Tython. Obviously, we see Grogu on the Seeing Stone on Tython in the Mandalorian. So we see Luke on that. He is reaching out to the Force, and then he is transported from Tython. I don't know if he's transported. I don't know if it's a vision. It wasn't really clear in the thing, but he ends up on Exegol. Basically, he's on Exegol, and he is walking through Exegol. He's then attacked by 9 wraiths. The way I found them described, the ring wraiths in Lord of the Rings. It was a bit like that. They looked a bit like that, but it was a bit conjunction whether they were they're real or not. But then it would go from Luke feeling that they weren't real to they are real. So these 9 wraiths that attack him on Exegol. They have quite a substantial lightsaber battle with these 9. All these wraiths have red lightsabers, which is obviously fitting because it's the Lost World of the Sith, or Hidden World of the Sith, I think it's described as. They all engage in a battle, and then as these wraiths are starting to get the better of Luke a bit, a Force Ghost appears and fights them off. He thinks it's Obi Wan Kenobi, but it's not. It's Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, that's where the excerpt ends.
Oh, so it ends on the cliffhanger of, does Luke and Anakin have a conversation?
I'm guessing so, because the last bit it says Anakin reaches out his hand, Luke takes it, and then everything goes white. That's how the excerpt ends. So yeah,
Ooh, very good.
So yeah, it looks like we're getting some Luke and Anakin Skywalker, which is class, really. But it looks like we're getting that in this Shadow of the Sith book.
I wonder if Luke obviously goes to Tython, sits on the Seeing Stone, obviously reach out, see if there's any Force people about, so he can find them. And then maybe ends up having this vision of Exegol, which feels very real. And obviously the fact he feels his father there, maybe that's what drives him to go, I need to find this place. And then maybe that's how he enlists Lando to help him. That's why they start the search for...
At this point, it mentions he knows what Exegol is at this point before he gets to the Seeing Stone. So he knows what Exegol is. He has heard of Exegol. He knows what it is. That's what he's looking for in the Seeing Stone. And then apparently it says in the thing, Lando will go to Luke with a new Sith threat that's arising. That's what it says.
Fantastic. That sounds like I'm excited for that book now.
Yeah. I think it's out in June. I can't wait. Ever since they announced it, there's anything with Sith, really. It's pretty cool. And Exegol is one of my favourite things from The Rise of Skywalker. I think it's a really cool idea that the Sith had this world out past the unknown regions that you can only get there through wayfinders and all that type of thing. I think there could be a lot of like Sith lore we could get into. I'm diving some Sith lore, a bit of that's why I'm wondering in the High Republic where the Sith are this time. I wonder if they're on Exegol during the time of obviously with the Nile and all that type of thing.
Just hiding, yeah.
Because obviously they're still in the pre-production phase of their takeover of the galaxy.
Indeed. No, that excerpt sounds awesome. Obviously, be good to read it if we're going to get some Luke Skywalker lightsaber battles as well. Obviously, very good stuff as well.
Yeah, he ignited the green in this excerpt, so that's pretty cool.
Fantastic. How does it describe Anakin?
It just says obviously a robed figure, obviously, and then you can tell it's a ghost because obviously it's the translucent type of thing, and then it says a guy with long hair, scarred down his face, so it's pretty much like Revenge of the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like obviously we see him at the end of Return of the Jedi. I assume it'll just look like that.
Yeah. Spot on. See, this book's coming out in June, yeah?
June, I think. I think it is June, yeah, because I think the next one is Brotherhood, which is the Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker novel.
Spot on. Obviously, perfect timing for Brotherhood coming out just as Kenobi hits us.
Yeah, 10th of May, that's out. Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Good. Moving on from that, obviously, we've had Donald Glover has been speaking on US television with Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel sort of said, you're working on Lando, aren't you, with Lucasfilm? Sort of try to catch him out a bit. Donald Glover sort of expertly dodged direct confirmation. He sort of just said, am I? You're just telling all my business. And he's like, no, yeah, I have a lot of things. I like to blossom and then go away. And right now it's definitely the start of another one of those. I feel like a ton of stuff I've been working on, but I just wanted it all to come out at the same time. I feel like that's what's important to me. So sort of joking a bit, but not saying it's not happening, but sort of not wanting to confirm anything. Obviously, they were working on sort of on a Lando series. We knew that from sort of Disney Plus promotions from a couple of years ago now, to be fair. I think it was something that was in development is the phrase I'd use. There's a lot of things that are in development and never get made. So it'll be interesting to see how far along this Lando series is. Obviously, Celebration's right around the corner, so I'd imagine if it is sort of further along in development, we'll probably get an announcement there. Do you think it's a realistic thought that we're going to get a Lando series, Ian? And also, are you excited for one if we do get one?
I would think we would get one, yeah. I don't think they would, because he announced it at that Disney Plus Investors Day. I don't know when. I think like you said, I think it's a couple of years ago. I'd be very surprised if we don't get a Lando series now that they've announced it, because they already announced Rangers of the New Republic. They obviously got shelved for different reasons. I don't think it'd be the best look if another project gets shelved, especially one with Donald Glover as well, because he's one of the biggest stars in the world. So I do think that series will get made. I think it'll be both Donald Glover and Billy D, who do the show. I think there could be potential of that. But obviously, Billy D telling stories about his youth, and then it flashes back to his youth, and it is Donald Glover, because that'd be a nice way to include them both. Because Billy D. Williams is still pretty keen to do it. I'm assuming he was in Rise of Skywalker, so yeah, I think that'll be a really cool show, something different. Obviously, Mando and all that, they've got their own little world going on with the Mandalorian, with all the shows and that. And sometimes it's nice to branch out into different things. So yeah, I think that'll be pretty cool. And plus, most people in the world know who Donald Glover is. So if they say Donald Glover's in a new show, a Star Wars show on Disney Plus, people will probably go and see it.
Yeah, definitely. For me, the announcer show is in development. Sometimes development hits a roadblock on the way. Obviously, we haven't heard anything to say it has or it hasn't. Obviously, I wonder why Jimmy Kimmel chose this question. Has he been told to ask the question? perhaps. But I think, I don't know, if he wasn't doing it, you think he would just go, no, that's not happening. Although maybe he's got an NDA where he just can't talk either way. You never know.
Yeah.
But for me, I think if they can get a good enough series, if they're happy with the scripts and they're happy with the development, then yeah, definitely make it. And I think if you've got a young talent like Donald Glover willing to come and do that, then I think you have to pull the trigger and go for it. So yeah, I'm probably saying if it has progressed in development to the point where it's going to get greenlit, I think we'll probably will see an announcement at Star Wars Celebration, which is coming this May. So probably won't be too long before we hear about that. And that's where it should be announced. Like like stuff like that. They should announce it at Celebration, and the people who pay the money to go there first, should hear that, and also maybe if they've got any concept art or anything cool to see, any sizzle reels, show it there first as well before the rest of the world. 100%. Speaking of Mandalorian, Carl Weathers has confirmed via Twitter that season 3 of Mando has wrapped production. Wrapped principal photography even. Obviously, it's now gone into post-production. It seems like it was a 5.5 month shoot, which is quite an extensive shoot, really. I suppose you don't have the same characters on set every day, so it's not like someone was there for 5.5 months. But yeah, quite a long shoot there that's been going on for. For me, when I hear that shoot time of 5.5 months, I wonder if are they tying it into Book of Boba, into Ahsoka, into everything? Is this going to be the gateway into the next series? Is sort of heading to this sort of looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn type thing? Here at the Empire sort of remake. Yeah, it's weird because I know that there'd been people were saying that Mando season 3 might not be happening, it hasn't started filming, and I've said no, it's definitely, I'm sure it's definitely shooting. They've just been low key about it, and obviously here we've seen the announcement that it's ended. Obviously, Carl Weathers not just Grief Karga, but also an episodic director, as well. So obviously, the fact that he's not only been starred in this series, but also he's directed an episode means he probably knows a bit more than other cast members, we could say. What's your thoughts on the fact it's wrapped shooting? And if it's wrapped shooting, that probably means we're getting it late 2022, early 2023. So sort of its usual place in the calendar around December, probably rolling into January. Are you glad it's finished shooting and sort of happy with? I mean, the fact it's 5.5 months shoot to me says we're getting quite a lot of content.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I don't know how long it normally takes to film a season of Mando, to be fair, but I think they are quite lucky with the main character obviously being Pedro Pascal, because he obviously I know Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder or something. He's obviously the stunt doubles who do a lot of the stuff actually in the suit and all that type of thing, and then sometimes Pedro just obviously lends his voice. Obviously, don't need him on set if any unmasked scenes or anything like that. But no, I think I'm happy it's finished shooting. That obviously gives us a chance. I do potentially see it coming out like the same time Book of Boba Fett came out last year, like right after Christmas. So technically it's a 2022 release, but we only get one episode this year, and then the rest takes us into what are we on now? 2023. Sorry, I forgot what year it was. And I'm really happy with it. Yeah, I've seen some of the people potentially cast. Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future. Is that Christopher Lloyd?
Yep, that's been confirmed, I believe.
Yeah, which is really cool. Which I like that. I wonder what I've always started thinking what character he might be playing. I could see him being quite a comedic relief character, because I have heard rumours that we will be heading to the mines of Mandalore that were mentioned in the Book of Boba Fett with the armourer, obviously, because that's how he has to atone for taking his helmet off in the living waters under the mines of Mandalore. So I could see us heading there. I think that I've heard the rumour that that's where it'll be heading. I also saw the rumour of Praetorian guards and all that type of thing, which is a weird time. Which, to be fair, is cool. I liked Praetorian guards from Last Jedi. To be fair, I thought they were a cool design. So I do wonder what we're building towards now, because obviously Book of Boba Fett didn't really leave us with much clues of what the Mando was going to do next, apart from potentially head to Mandalore to explore the mines of Mandalore. But no, yeah, like I said, hugely exciting. I do think this is all tying in. I've said it many a time before. I do think we are heading towards some sort of canon version of the obviously heavily reworked and all that time, but like a canon version of the Heir to the Empire. Some of the story beats are very similar to that story. Obviously, Mando set 5 years after Return of the Jedi. I remember the Heir to the Empire trilogy the first one was set 5 years after the thing. Grand Admiral Thrawn was obviously out in the unknown regions in the Legends timeline, building defences against the Yuuzhan Vong and all that type of thing. And then he's obviously been taken out of the game in Rebels and sent off somewhere. But obviously, by the time of Mando Season 2, it looks like he's back somewhere and he's building up his forces for whatever reason that may be. But yeah, no, hugely excited. I really enjoyed The Mandalorian. And just the fact that we're getting a live-action Grand Admiral Thrawn is truly bonkers to me, because I never thought we'd get that.
Yeah, I think this season of Mandalorian, I think, as with Book of Boba Fett, we saw, it wasn't just about Boba Fett. It's very much sort of a cinematic universe of, we're telling these stories in these series, and different characters can blend in to tell the ongoing story, which I think is probably the right thing to do, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think, the fact that it was quite a long shoot, I think we're definitely going to see Ahsoka in this series. I think definitely Mandalorian's got the child back, he's got Grogu back, so, are we going to see Luke and Ahsoka interact with Mando and the child going forward? I don't think that scene in in Book of Boba Fett was as clear cut as Grogu saying, "I'm not going to be a Jedi. I'm going to go back to Mando." I think Grogu can probably pick both. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
maybe not in that exact moment, but down the line, that's not going to be a thing of like, "Oh, you can't train with me" type of thing. So I think we could definitely see Luke and Ahsoka in this series. If we are tying towards Grand Admiral Thrawn, are we going to see Ezra, Sabine? They all sort of tie into that story as well, as it was started in Star Wars Rebels.
I would think so. Like, cause I'm pretty sure it's been all but confirmed that Sabine's been cast in the Ahsoka series, and so has obviously Ezra Bridger has been cast. I think. I know it's not official, but when people like Hollywood Reporter and all that type start reporting this type of stuff, it's usually because it's pretty much done. So I would have thought, I think we'll get a continuation of the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels, where Ahsoka and Sabine head off. I'm guessing into the unknown regions, because I think if Thrawn was somewhere in the known galaxy, I think they would have found him by now. But because I remember Dave Filoni, I think he said, because people were saying to him, why is Ahsoka obviously not in all the white that we see her at the end of Rebels? And he says, well, you're assuming that when we see Ahsoka in The Mandalorian, that's after that, and it might not be. So, you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely, and obviously, and it could well be set after. Indeed.
But yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm hugely excited for it. Like I said, seeing Thrawn and all that type of thing would be really cool.
Yeah, it's quite good, because we've got the Kenobi series coming, which is going to be sort of a break from the sort of Mandalorian storytelling that we've had on Disney Plus. Obviously, we're going to a different time, an earlier time, more of a sort of a prequel era story, which is going to be fantastic. And then we're going to have Cassian Andor, which again is sort of a prequel original trilogy sort of era story. And then back end of the year, Mandalorian season 3 is going to come out and get us back into that Mandalorian storytelling arc of Mandalorian, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Luke, Grogu, sort of all those characters and what they're doing. So it's going to be very interesting.
I don't think we ever got a chance to speak about the Kenobi trailer. What did you think?
I thought it was a great trailer. I thought it didn't show us too much actual things happening, but it hit like all the right sort of emotional points of like what it needed to do. I was really excited, loved it. Still watch it now and get goosebumps. I think it was well produced. I think they knew what they were doing. Again, I think it's full of prequel nostalgia.
Yeah,
what it needed to be, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, the best part for me was when the Jewel of Fate kicked in. Obviously, I liked everything, but yeah, as soon as I heard Jewel of Fate, I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
It's weird because they Jewel of the Fates, and then they also used Battle of the Heroes later. So it was like they played sort of the best track from the first episode of the prequels, and then the best track from the end of the prequels.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like very much a sort of this is going to be the bow on the prequel trilogy. I think this is going to be the finale type stories. The feel I got from them using that musical tone. It was very clever.
Just a tiny bit of Darth Vader's breathing, which will never fail to get people to lose their mind.
No, definitely. They didn't show him yet, but they showed like half a breath. I think it was an inhale, but not quite an exhale. Sort of very subtle at the end there when the title credits come up. So I think in the next trailer we'll probably get Vader, I'd imagine.
Just like we got in Rogue One. I think the Rogue One trailer. But to be fair, the scene we see him in the Rogue One trailer wasn't even actually in the film in the end. But no.
Yeah.
I've seen the image of him in Entertainment Weekly, the release of him stood in his meditative chamber. But yeah, no, hugely excited for that. But like I said, going back to Mando, like Andor, I'm hugely excited about Andor as well. I think Andor will be a really cool show. I like the idea of a spy thriller and all that type of thing. So I think that's a cool idea.
Definitely, and also going to be a different pace, but like it's going to be fantastic. I think. I wonder if we'll get sort of Andor information or trailers at Celebration. I would like to think so.
I would think we get a trailer now because I think they finished filming quite a while ago, and then there's obviously rumours that'll be out autumn time. I think maybe August, September. I think that might be out. So yeah, no, I think that was a massive shoot as well. To be fair. That was a massive shoot. I remember they had so many sets, and like I said, they were filming not far from me, about an hour and a half away from where I live, down near Blackpool on the beach. And all that type of thing. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours from where I live. And that I was tempted to go down one week, but I never got a chance. but no,
yeah, they were shooting in England quite a bit. They were shot in Europe, shot across the world.
I think that's the biggest shoot I've heard of like any of these shows. I think it was massive.
Definitely. Do you think? I've heard rumblings that apparently I've not seen it actually announced, but apparently Bad Batch has just been moved from this year completely.
I haven't seen those rumours, no, because I remember seeing that it was supposed to be out spring this year. But
I was having a conversation with a friend, and they said, "Oh, it's been moved now next year." I went, "Oh, has it?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right." Now I don't remember seeing anything about it, but I find that really strange because animation, like, yeah, it can take a while, but like,
you think season 2 would be done though, wouldn't you?
I was under the impression that season 2 was done because now the character models are done. Like, it's not still hard, don't get us wrong, but it's easier than creating them for the first time. If that makes sense.
But I think they obviously make them quite far out because I remember seeing something like when Star Wars Rebels was in like season 2, they already had like the first season of Star Wars Resistance done. So yeah, I think they're done quite far out. So no, I haven't seen that rumour. To be fair, no, I haven't seen it. I hope not because I like Bad Batch.
Yeah, I just wonder why they would move it. And would it be a case of
scheduling?
Have they moved it just for the calendar? It suits the calendar better, or is it because there's problems?
No, that's an interesting thing. Like I said, that's the first I've heard of it. As you mentioned it to me now, so I haven't heard of that. To be fair, I hope not, because, but like you said, you'd think season 2 would be done before they even release season 1. Obviously, they have to see. I don't think they would have done season 1 and then gone, right, they're going to come back for season 2 and then start season 2 from scratch. So, no, I'm not sure about that one, to be fair, mate.
Yeah, so it's a strange one. Moving on from Disney Plus and the Star Wars products going there. Obviously, Hasbro have announced that Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest, Fan First Wednesday, will be coming on April 6, 2022, where the Star Wars team will be taking over the Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel to reveal new Black Series vintage collection and other toys as well, sort of new lines coming. Always exciting when this happens. I never really watched the live stream live. I usually just wait to see the picture sort of go online after. Be interesting to see sort of what type of figures we get. Are we going to get figures from more figures from Book of Boba Fett? Are we going to see figures for the new season of Mandalorian? Kenobi series even announced would be pretty cool. Are we going to get another HasLab announcement? Another back of the project announced? I hope they do, and then we can see how that does. So yeah, though I probably won't watch this live, but I am excited to see what they've got planned for the rest of the year, because Hasbro will know what Lucasfilm have got planned for the rest of the year, so they should have the figures ready, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I find weird. The Marvel line with Hasbro, soon it's all kept secret, but then once the show comes out, the figures are available. Like bang, here you go. With Star Wars, it's like it's.
Yeah, we're still waiting.
It's nearly 3 years later now. We still haven't got Ben Solo the Blue Lightsaber. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're still waiting for like Cobb Vanth and all that type of thing. It's yeah, I don't know what goes on with Star Wars. I know. Yeah, it is weird. Like, I do find it strange how we have to wait so long for certain figures to come out from certain shows and all that type of thing. I'm sorry about the dog, if you can hear the dog in the background.
It's all right.
But yeah, no, I do find it weird that yeah, we like I said, I've been waiting for a Cobb Vanth. I think I've got a Cobb Vanth ordered for like I think it comes out in June this year. I think.
So I think with Cobb Vanth, obviously he's been announced and made. Obviously the problems to that is that the worldwide shipping at the minute's a mess
Yeah.
because of the world's a mess. So I think I don't see that as a problem by Hasbro as such, but like the fact that like we don't have, they've never even announced because they haven't made the figure, like the Ben Solo Jedi figure from the movie. You think that would, like, as soon as the movie come out, that should be ready to go.
Yeah, you'd
Like,
think.
do you know what I mean? I think this Kenobi series, as soon as that Kenobi hits, they need to have these Inquisitors available. They need to have Kenobi ready. They need to have Vader. If they've got a flashback Anakin, have him available. They'll sell so many figures, but these figures need to be available now.
Yeah.
Not available now, but available. Like once the show comes out, like guess what? You've seen them in the show. Here's the figure. Go buy it now.
That's what happened with Baron Zemo and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was like, oh yeah, the episode came out. It was like, oh, by the way, the figure's out now. It's like, what?
All of them were, even like the Captain. Like when you finally saw Falcon as the Captain America.
Yeah.
The next week it was like, here you can buy him, Captain America, the new Captain America. Like here he is. He's no longer the Falcon. He's now Captain America. There you go, with the shield and the wings. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like yeah, and they plan that so much in advance. Where in the build a figure line, which Star Wars don't do, if you bought all of the figures in the Captain America and the Winter Soldier line, it allowed you to build the wing set for the Falcon figure.
Yeah.
So that was thought out well in advance because they'd done that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's a case of whether Lucasfilm just don't like keeping it, don't trust Hasbro to keep secrets, and therefore don't tell them stuff, or is it on Hasbro's mark, or is it just a bad relationship between both of them? I don't know, but I just think these figures need to be available. From the first week of release, I think.
I get with certain instances, because I remember they said they didn't make any merchandise for Grogu and Mando season, because that was obviously an unknown character, massive, and they didn't want to ruin that surprise, which is good. But like you said, like the show's called Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's not a secret that there'll be an Obi-Wan Kenobi figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we know Hayden's back. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like, for me, I think with Star Wars, like, and plus like Hasbro haven't leaked any of this Marvel stuff, hasn't leaked out.
No.
So do you know what I mean? Star Wars has had leaks and it hasn't come from Hasbro, I'll tell you that. Like, do you know what I mean? So, so for me, I think like Hasbro need to be going all like what's the top 5 figures we need from a Kenobi series? I would say Kenobi. I would say Inquisitor Reva. I would say Grand Inquisitor. I would say Vader. And I would say if there is a flashback Anakin, then a flashback Anakin. That's your 5 top sellers there. If you release them the week, even if it's a week after, you have them done, but a week after the show airs, just go, oh, here's the 5 figures, and then in the Kenobi wave, pre-order now. Like, you're gonna sell them out straight away.
Yeah. What's
pre-orders will sell out.
What's one thing you want to see with this new Hasbro Pulse thing? If you could choose a figure, what would you have?
For me, I want to see them go back and do it. I want to see him do a Ben Solo double pack where we get Ben Solo as a Jedi from the comic book Rise of Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
So it's like a young Ben, and then I also want to see Ben at the end of Rise of Skywalker in the black jumper with the legacy lightsaber.
Yeah.
And you could put all kinds of accessories in that double pack as well. I think that needs to come out in Black Series. I think we haven't even got Rey with the yellow lightsaber, man.
I know, yeah, it's mental, Anna. It's crazy.
Like, you can even do a double pack with Rey with the yellow lightsaber from when she buries the sabers, and it could come with the other 2 lightsaber handles that she buries. Yeah. And then Ben Solo from the end of the movie. Like, you know what I mean? People will buy that shit. You need to just make it, but it's like they seem just so. Instead, they just release Boba Fett 6 times with a different cape on. Like,
and the various clone variants, which people love the clones. And like obviously the Captain Rexes and all that are different because they obviously can take the helmets off and that. But yeah, when they do like,
no, I mean,
they do like release.
They're great, but it shouldn't be a choice between one or the other. Like, you can do both.
Yeah,
100% do both and make double the money. Do you know what I mean? Make double the money, Hasbro. So all we're asking you to do is make double the money.
It does really laugh though, because I remember when Force Awakens came out, they released the Resistance Trooper, and then but it's like it's not going to sell. It's not.
Yeah.
But I think my couple of choices. I'm still holding out hope for a gaming greats Star Killer. I still want that 6-inch Star Killer. That would be an instant buy for me. And I really like a Dirge figure being made. I think that'd be class as well.
Definitely.
But
I want to see them really do a new HasLab. I want to see what they do for a new back, the HasLab, where it's a premium figure. It has hit certain amount of backers for it to get made. I want to see what that is. Obviously, the last one was the Rancor, which failed, didn't get made because again, they didn't add on the good stuff.
Yeah,
that they do for every other one they do. So they missed the mark on that one. That's all on them.
I
want to see what the next one is, and see if it's worth backing or
not. That Jabba's sail barge, that was class.
Yeah, sail barge was fantastic. The Razor Crest that just started shipping a couple of weeks ago looks class. So I want to see. I want to see them come back to Black Series because Rancor was the first Black Series one they did, and obviously it didn't get backed. So I don't want them to see that as them backing out the market because it wasn't because nobody wanted Black Series. It was because they didn't put the add-on goals weren't very good, but absolutely rubbish. I don't know how the marketing team even thought that those goals would get it made. To be honest with you,
I do like how passionate you are about figures. To be fair, I do like that.
No, I just think Rancor, right? You've got Rancor.
Yeah.
You hit about 2,000 backers straight away. But then what needed was wave one for the add-on should have been you're getting the Rancor keeper mint on card.
Yeah.
First time in the line figure, right?
Maliki.
Straight away, even people who don't want the Rancor need him for their collection, so they're buying it. Wave 2, Ula, the dancer, first time in the line, Black Series.
Yeah.
Right there, you probably got 20,000 subscribers just from them two being announced.
Yeah.
And then you can do silly ones like Gamorrean Guard. Then you can do Luke Skywalker with the bone in his hand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, I agree, mate. I agree.
And if they'd done that, they would have sold about 40,000 of them. I guarantee you. But no, instead they didn't get back because they announced things like a cardboard backdrop for the Rancor. It's like what? A cardboard backdrop?
Yeah.
No, don't want that. Cheap. So yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I'm the same. To be fair, I'm the same with Star Wars games, like video games. I'm the same thing. That whole thing does my head in. But
yeah, definitely. So yeah, interesting to see what they do. Like I said, for me, I hope we get some really good figure announcements and also get a really good HasLab backed announcement. Hopefully, it's Black Series.
Come on, Galen Merrick, 6-inch Star Killer. Come on.
Yeah,
I will. I want the Force Unleashed 3 to be made. Oh, come on.
Also, Rancho Obi Wan, which is sort of a Steve Sansweet started it. It was his own collection, sort of a museum to his Star Wars collection. It's now a non-profit organization, which has it's the largest collection of Star Wars merchandise in the world, and it's been shut obviously during the pandemic. I think they were doing virtual tours and stuff. They are back open now. So doors are open again. So if you do live near Rancho Obi Wan, get yourself down, look at all the awesome merchandise. Sort of a big history of Star Wars merchandise from all the original stuff from 77 to now. They will also be at Celebration. Sort of the Rancho Obi Wan booth will be back at Star Wars Celebration this year in May. I always love the Rancho Obi Wan booth. I've always found it awesome. Last year it was quite cool because they were giving raffle tickets off and you could win things from the collection, which was really cool. So I actually won it. It's only a small poster, but it was from the Revenge of the Sith promotion campaign. It was the Who's Your Daddy? I think it was the Father's Day Star Wars Revenge of the Sith campaign. Who's Your Daddy? And it's Vader on the front with Star Wars Revenge of the Sith at the bottom. So I actually got that and actually got it signed by Steve Sansweet, who was there at the time as well. Obviously, it was his collection originally. Although it is now a non-profit, and like I said, I got him to sign the poster for us as well, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, definitely, if you live near Rancho Obi Wan, definitely check it out. I think if you're at Celebration, definitely check out the Rancho Obi Wan booth. It's always a fun check out of seeing all the different generations of Star Wars merchandise and like I said, sometimes you'll see Steve and the guys there, and they're always happy to chat and talk to you about Star Wars merchandise, which is always good.
Whereabouts is it in America? I actually don't know where it is.
Yeah,
I'll have a look now. I can't remember where it actually is.
have a quick Google, yeah. I was going to say. But no, like I said, I've not been to the actual collection, but the 3 celebrations I've been to, I've always gone to the Rancho Obi Wan booth just because it's just great to see all the sort of awesome merchandise there. Now you have a broad selection of it, so it's like different types.
Petaluma, California.
There you go, California. It's always California.
Yeah, it always is. It's nice there.
Well, that's where George started. You know, that's where he's from. You know what I mean? You've got to remember that. That's where Lucasfilm and all of that is. So yeah, definitely check that out. I mean, if you live near there and you remember Rancho Obi Wan, there's also a fundraising gala coming on August 20th, 2022 as well. So keep your eyes open for that. Speaking of California and Star Wars Celebration, Disneyland Resort has announced that Hyperspace Mountain is coming back from the 29th of April, and it will run up until at least through Star Wars Celebration, maybe longer. So for those who don't know, obviously one of the oldest rides with the longest line, one of the most famous rides, Space Mountain, is at Disneyland. What they do is they have this overlay where they sort of change the ride overlay and change the sound and the music and stuff, and it becomes Hyperspace Mountain, and it's like a Star Wars theme. Star Wars themed ride called Hyperspace Mountain. And so that will be in place from the 29th of April. So if you get down to Disneyland from the 29th of April, you can ride Hyperspace Mountain. And if you're in California for Celebration Week, and you get yourself to Disneyland, you'll be able to ride Hyperspace Mountain. It comes and goes throughout the year. So I think this will be the first time it's been put on this year, I think. So good time to put it on, during the Star Wars event. And all the Star Wars fans are going to be there, I suppose. Have you ever rode Hyperspace Mountain, Ian?
I haven't, mate. I've never been. I've always wanted to go to Disneyland. I need to go one day, but no, I've never been. Obviously, I got your reference to the oldest ride with the longest line. That's a Ric Flair reference. I like that. But
it is indeed.
But no, I've never been. I always want to go. Hopefully, one day I'll get there. But no, I take it you've read it.
So I've rode Space Mountain, but I've not actually rode the Hyperspace Mountain because it's only on certain times. But they do put it on both coasts. Like they do have a version for both rides, I think. Actually, saying that, I don't know about Florida 100%, but they definitely have one for Disneyland, California, because that's obviously where it's going to be come April. And they definitely have one for Paris. Because I've not been on it, but I've seen it and heard that it gets put on. So there is an opportunity to ride Hyperspace Mountain at both those parks when it is on. I'm not 100% sure about Florida. Because Florida's Space Mountain is different from Disneyland's. And then Paris is slightly different again. But I think Paris is more similar to California, although it is different. And then I said Florida's is different from California as well. Sort of different cart system.
Yeah,
for the ride. Still a roller coaster, but just a different cart system. So yeah, I'm not going to Celebration, but I would love one day to get a ride Hyperspace Mountain, whether it be in Paris or California, or if it does indeed have a Hyperspace Mountain in Florida, I'd love to ride it there as well. I can only imagine it's absolutely fantastic. Obviously, one last thing for me, I think obviously it's been publicised this week a bit that sort of Matt Lanter, the voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars, has been in hospital having emergency surgery. I didn't see any details of what or why or when, nor did I want to find them really, but I just wanted to obviously just wish Matt Lanter a speedy and full recovery. I hope he's doing all right. I hope his family are okay. That's where our thoughts are with Matt and with his family. I think the Clone Wars is absolutely fantastic Star Wars, and what Matt does with Anakin Skywalker, and indeed with Star Wars Rebels, with that scene in Twilight of the Apprentice Part 2, when Vader's mask cut open and Matt Lanter does the voice. It's very haunting and powerful performances, very emotive. I think that's all down to him and his work. So yeah, Matt Lanter, get well soon, have a full recovery, and we'll hope you and your family are doing well. Ian, do you think we've missed anything that you want to discuss Star Wars wise before we head off?
No, nothing, to be fair, mate. I don't think so. I can't remember seeing much in the news other than what we've talked about. Looking forward to Celebration, like I said. I think we'll get a lot of stuff revealed there, which obviously would be good to come back on then and discuss what gets revealed. I've heard rumours of all sorts getting revealed. So that'll be a good time to pick this conversation back up and see what we get revealed at Star Wars Celebration, which is just over a month and a tiny bit away, which is hugely exciting. I do watch a lot of the live streams. Obviously, I obviously pick out when certain panels are on and that type of thing to watch. So yeah, no, hugely excited for Star Wars Celebration, like I'm most years, and yeah, I think that's all we really need to go over today, mate. To be fair,
With Star Wars Celebration, would you like make sure you're free for the duration of the celebration so you can watch the full live stream?
To be fair, I don't go out of my way. If I've got something on, like I obviously do that instead. But yeah, if I've got nothing on, then I'll just stick it on in the background most of the time to just see what's going on. But then I do, if there's certain panels I want to see, then I will try and watch them live, but depending on the time difference and all that. But yeah, no, I do try and watch them live if I can. But like I said, if I've got other stuff I need to do, then no, I just go about it. But like I said, most of the time it's on in the background of my house, just in the background. If anything cool comes up, I'll just switch over and have a look.
Yeah, obviously I've been to the past 3 celebrations, so this will be my first time sort of experiencing it from home. So I don't know what to do whether to like book the time off work.
But I think most of it takes place over the weekend, doesn't it? So, to be fair, yeah. But if you work the way, obviously I don't work weekends, which works out all right for me. But
yeah, I do work weekends, so it's what it is. So yeah. I think and I work like 12-hour shifts as well, so it's sort of I'm out the way for the day really. So I don't know. I think I'll wait and see. I haven't made a decision yet, but I think it's something where the live stream will be there the next day to watch. So it's not the end of the world, I suppose, but also the excitement of watching it live, I think, could be cool. So I need to see how my shifts fall around it.
It is good because you go on, you talk to people on like Twitter and that when stuff's going on, and then even like the smaller ones that don't get televised, there's always news coming out of like new comics or books or figures or something being made. So no, it's a good time. Like I said, I will probably that weekend, if I've got nothing on, I probably will watch a majority of it. I think some stuff goes on Friday night, but I don't think a lot of stuff goes on the Friday night. I think it's mainly most of the news comes out Saturday and Sunday. But obviously, people aren't at work and that type of thing. So no, it is good. Like I said, I will get to one day. I do hope eventually it comes back to Europe and I can get myself to a celebration, or hopefully one day maybe go over to America to put one. But yeah, but no, it's a hugely exciting time.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if at this year's celebration, if they'll announce where the next one's going to be, because they do that sometimes. They've obviously sort of missed a year because it was meant to be last year. So I wonder if they'll like announce it for 2023,
London, where
it's going to be.
Come on, London. Oh, even better, Newcastle. Come up to Newcastle. Star Wars Celebration at Newcastle. That'd be class.
I mean, that would be awesome. I just don't think we've got the convention space for it.
I don't think we do either. You can do it though.
Where the NXL Centre has fantastic convention centre down in London.
St James, mate. Put a roof on.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see where it does go and whether, hopefully it is closer to Europe. We'll find out. Obviously, it's a couple of years of being in America now, so I think it is time to move on a bit, but also...
Yeah, well, they do it.
They want to get bums in these theme parks that they've got on the east and west coast of America. So time will tell, mate, but hopefully I'll love it if we've got an announcement then. And I hope it is the year after. Yeah. And it means we can stop planning straight away. Yeah. Like it's like, oh, guess what? It's a year away. Boom. Let's start. Let's get tickets booked. Let's get hotels booked. Let's get the holidays booked in at work.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, it will return in 2 years and we don't know where yet.
Yeah.
Because that leaves it a bit open. You've got to
wait for an
announcement.
And then they drop it in the middle of the night, and it's like, all right, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's I love it. It's just like here's where it's going to be in a year's time. Tickets available soon. Be ready. Then we can be ready for it. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
One last thing, Ian, just a merchandise check-in. What Star Wars products have you been buying over the past couple of weeks?
I've got a few tiny things. I did buy Midnight Horizon, the Star Wars book, the High Republic one. I'm currently reading Fallen Star though because life has been mad, so I've really fallen behind on my reading. So I'm going to read Fallen Star first, and then move on to Midnight Horizon. I also bought the little short story from eBay the other day, Ezra's Gamble, the Star Wars Rebels little book, which has him working with Bosk which is a pretty cool little tie-in. I've always seen it, but I've never really got it. But I looked on eBay the other day and I got it for like £2, which you can't complain for. Just trying to think. I'm just looking behind me now to see if there's anything else I've got. No, I think that's it really for now. I think that's all I've got. Yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, just a couple of books recently. Like I said, like you know, I'm getting married in October, so all my funds are diverted towards that at the moment.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive.
So I finally finished Light of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Last week.
What do you think?
Loved it. I love the book. I should have read it faster, really. Just like getting away. So I finally finished it. I'm like, what do I read next? So I've got like the other books, the smaller ones, to read. But the next big novel, is that The Fallen Star?
No, the next one after that is Rising Storm.
Right,
the Rising Storm is the next one. There's
So last week I was out for my birthday. I got bought. When I say I got bought, I mean I chose The Fallen Star by Claudia Gray.
Yeah,
actually a nice little signed copy.
That's cool.
From Forbidden Planet. Yeah, so nice little signed copy by Claudia Gray. So happy with that. Maybe if I meet her one day, I'll get it personalised. And I also got the Tempest Runner script by Kevin Scott.
Yeah, I haven't got that. Yeah, I need to get the script. I've obviously listened to it on Audible. I've listened to it, but no, that's good.
Yeah.
That tells you more about obviously the Nile and that.
So I finished Light of the Jedi.
Yeah,
but I don't read Fallen Star next.
No, are you reading the like the younger adult novels? Because there's a couple.
I've got some of them, but I haven't read them yet.
There's obviously Light of the Jedi, and then it goes into the Dark, which is a.
So I've got that book. I've got Into the Dark by Claudia Gray.
That runs a bit concurrently with Light of the Jedi, and then the next main novel is Rising Storm by Kevin Scott. That is the next.
I need to find that.
Yeah, that is the next one, which is really good. Really good. Like I've enjoyed all. Well, I've read the two main novels. I'm just reading Fallen Star now. I've enjoyed both novels, like main novels. So obviously, the main ones that get released, but even the young adult ones are good. I still need to read Out of the Shadows, and I need to read Midnight Horizon. But no, really good, mate. I'm really enjoying the High Republic at the moment. It's quite cool. It's a nice fresh take on Star Wars, and to be fair, like I said, I think they chose this time period for a reason, because I don't even think back in Star Wars Legends there was that much writ about like this time period in the timeline.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
That's all from me. Iain, where can the people find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram, all lowercase, Star Wars Iain. That's me.
Fantastic. Obviously, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Geordie Jedi Pete. You can find the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Star Wars Podcast. You can find the podcast on TikTok at Star Wars, and you can find the podcast on Twitter at Bors Star. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Iain, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always.
No problem, mate.
And remember, always tell that to Kanja Club.
Hello, Star Wars listeners. This is Savannah Odit. You might know me as host of The Dorky Diva Show with my co-host Brian Balance. I am also producer of The Adventures of the Zolan Dart, which is a Star Wars-inspired audio drama that we produced over the last year. If you love stories about smugglers, courage, heroic characters, and maybe a few foes along the way, you should go to thedorkydivashow.com and listen to The Adventures of the Zolan Dart today.
Shout! We've got your pigs.
Were any of the critters harmed?
What did you do now?
I didn't do anything. I just freaked out for no reason.
It was nice doing business with you again. Maybe next time we could deliver something less temperamental.
Now, what you call temperamental, I call fun.
Hey, is there a place nearby where I can make some repairs?
3 clicks south of here, you'll find a small spaceport. They should have what you need, as long as it's nothing too big.
Dynamic class? My stars, you don't hear about many of those still being space-worthy.
It's been in my family for a while.
She's pretty great. Any chance you have a hover cart we can use to load up?
I'll check out the HoloNet to see if anything new has come up in the sector.
My name is Sereth Kun. I am the chief here on Kamai. My people and I have been experiencing food shortages as of late due to unforeseen natural occurrences. We are looking to hire someone.
I say we take this one. The pay is great, and it's the type of job we're familiar with.
Welcome, welcome. You must be Captain Otoa. I've already sent word to Pack 2 to expect you in the next cycle or so.
You told him we were coming before we even accepted the job. That's rather presumptuous, isn't it?
Perhaps, though once I received confirmation that you were interested and on your way here, I couldn't help but hope.
Fair enough. Well, we'll be back as soon as we can.
Well, that's not good.
Is that blaster fire I hear?
Ah, so you're the one.
Captain, it sounds like they want to do this the hard way.
I love when they got some fight in them.
This is bad. This is bad. We're about to have a lot of company.
I'll see you soon.